Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Last week when we were hanging out with the trees, they really wanted us to reconnect with spirit. So how's that been going? I feel like it's been going pretty good, but I think that it can always be better, for me. I meditated a little bit, but nothing to really brag about. I am feeling very connected to spirit more and more. So that's all we can do. And then, if I need to, maybe go back, re-listen to that, get inspired about that, remind myself every morning, to fill my body with light and breathe. And did you wake up this morning and thank your bed for being so comfy? So yesterday we manifested gratitude. The day before that we did a tarot spread, and then the day before that was Monday, and that's when we hung out with our herb of the week, thyme. So thyme is really wanting us, to be brave, be courageous, put ourselves out there, connect with people, know that we're safe as we travel through this labyrinth, inward and then outward again, and then inward and then outward again. So that is thyme this week. It's a great herb. Shameful to even think though that I haven't reached up and grabbed my big old jar of thyme leaves. I need to drink some thyme. And I'm feeling like it would be good for me too. Because thyme gets rid of everything that is not you. So as we just keep on purging our limiting belief systems and our negativities, and we really are paring down to the essence of who we truly are. So anyways, welcome back to Ho. Ready to hang out with the trees? On Thursdays, we get our tree decks out. Me, myself, and I. And I say, what do the trees want to talk about today? And then we receive a lot of guidance from these cards. So we'll see what our tree guides have to say, or just what do they want to talk about today. So the first deck that I use is the Soul Trees by Allison Williams Yee. I have these archangel sigils that live in the deck, so I'll put those over there. This is a cool deck. It's got 80 trees in it, and the one on the bottom is gratitude. Aww, the one on the bottom's gratitude. It's saying, why didn't you put me out on the table yesterday? Aw, I feel so bad now. I'm looking at the bottom of the deck, the way I picked it up out of the box, and it's gratitude. And that's what we manifested more of. And I even kind of thought to myself, I could put there's probably a gratitude tree, but I was just kind of I don't know. I was kind of running late yesterday, and I just was like, that's enough cards. And let me look in the book here, because you know what? We cannot have enough gratitude, right? Gratitude is that magic stuff that we talked about yesterday. And in the book, this little pamphlet, it says, gratitude. Focus on what you are grateful for in your life now. The practice of gratitude can create a positive shift in your life. And no offense to this gratitude tree, but we totally covered that yesterday. So we didn't even need you, boo. But it's good to see you today. So it's this beautiful white tree. In this awesome watercolors, there's aquamarine, turquoise, blue, a little bit of yellow green, but it's just watercolor, foggy looking with all these beautiful different hues. And this white tree coming up being like, I am grateful. So, yeah, that is what we talked about yesterday. Gratitude can literally shift your energy, the energy that you emanate around yourself, and it can change your whole friggin' life. It's basically what we talked about yesterday, because you'll start to pull in more experiences that you can be grateful for once you start literally being obnoxious with your gratitude, just being grateful for everyone and everything and every experience, and seeing them all as blessings and lessons to learn, even within the negative experiences. Like, you just are grateful for everything. All right, so let's give this little deck a shuffle and a cut, and we're going to ask, what do the trees want to talk about today? So, yeah, I mean, the trees can certainly spin off a gratitude. They could spin off a last week, connecting more with spirit. It's all about connecting with spirit here at Ho, though, isn't it? All right, so I had another herb walk yesterday at my house. I'm loving this, you guys. But yeah, I haven't really gotten much work done as far as podcasting for Herbal Marie, but it's okay. I needed this experience to charge me for Herbal Marie. If you didn't hear, I'm having herb walks at my house. Just walking around the yard, talking about all of the herbs and plants and weeds. Okay, so I have something interesting going on here. A chunk of the deck, like, split off to the side. So I'm going to go with the top one of the top, and I'm going to go with the top one of the chunk that's split off, and just see what these two cards are. We have assurance and resilience. Aw, okay, so that is pretty sweet, because maybe the trees just want to say, hey, today, you're doing great. You're doing okay. And yeah, a lot of times you're like, how can I keep up with this pace? How can I keep going? And the trees are like, you got this. The resilience tree is like this really dark indigo, darkest blue mostly. And it's a curvy tree, and it's got white flowers, and behind it is this brilliant yellow light. So I feel like the tree guides are saying, just keep going towards the light. Okay, assurance, you're doing good. It seems like there isn't that much light. There is light in the dark night sky with the assurance tree. And actually, they really match. This literally could almost be like the same type of tree, like one at night and one during the day. But yeah, it's like, keep on going. Like, you're doing good. Even if it doesn't seem, like I was just saying a split second before, even though it doesn't seem like you were getting enough done, it's really not even about doing at this point. It's about being. And it's about going towards the light no matter what. Like, what do you have to do today? Anchor light. What are you doing this afternoon? Being the light. Well, what are you doing tonight? Well, I'm shining light tonight. My mother would be disgusted with this to-do list. She would be like, that just doesn't seem like you're taking care of your house, you know? But it's like, actually, I am taking care of my house, you know, the house that I go inside myself, my real house, right? So what was I listening to? Oh, Archangel Michael, of course. I was listening to like the third book of the Archangel Michael books that I'm listening to on YouTube, and I'm talking about on my Facebook page. And he was saying that, like, we should start visualizing or imagining or focusing on like a crystal pyramid that's ours, and we can go into, and we can like meditate and find answers and solutions. And it was like really different for me, because I don't know if it's because I'm a Taurus, but you know, I could use more of my visual imagination. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am practical girl, but I don't like always take time to like imagine, fantasize, visualize things that like are not, quote, real for me. So anyways, I was doing that, and it really is like building an energetic house. in a lot of ways. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that, kind of random, but it made me think of this, you know, whenever we're taking care of our real house, our real energy. This house that we're in right now in the third dimension, it's going to become less and less our home, you know, as we travel up in frequency. So the trees are saying you're doing good, assurance, and keep going. I just want to look in the book and see what she has for assurance. She says, a supportive reminder, all is well. So everything's okay. Even if like you're watching the news and everybody's sort of acting crazy, and you know, even people in your personal life, they're purging and things are coming to the surface and they're not quite sure how to heal them, and they're just acting a little bit off and edgy and maybe even combative, and it just seems like, is it ever going to be okay? It already is okay. All is well. All is well. So you keep on focusing on what you need to do. Resilience says you have inner power and boldness within you to overcome setbacks and bloom. So all is well, even if it doesn't seem well right now. Yeah, I would say that is definitely a good message from the tree guides. All is well, even if it does not seem well. Even if it's like, well, I'd like to think all is well, but you know, I just have all these challenges and setbacks and things that like curveballs and just things that keep on coming up. Okay, but you have to just keep on telling yourself, really, everything's okay. And I am resilient and I am strong. I'm the strongest of the strong. That's why I'm here right now. So I'm just going to keep on trucking. Now, last week we had Papal from our Wisdom of the Trees Oracle reminding us to meditate. We're going to move on to our next deck yet and just kind of see maybe if the Wisdom of the Trees wants to talk about what our setbacks are, or what we can do to keep on going, and all of that. But before we go any farther, we got to do our affirmations for the week, for our herb of the week, for time. It's time we hung out with time. So here's our affirmation minute. This affirmation is brought to you by our courageous herb of the week, time, and I dedicate them all to you. Thank you. I am brave. I follow my true path. I quickly forgive all wrongs and release resentments. I burn away what is no longer me, and I stoke my creative fire. I step out of the broom closet and declare my magic. I elevate my spirit and courageously rise to challenges. I am brave. I follow my true path. I quickly forgive all wrongs and release resentments. I burn away what is no longer me, and I stoke my creative fire. I step out of the broom closet and declare my magic. I elevate my spirit and courageously rise to challenges. And so it is. Good affirmations this week. So yeah, as we need a little reassurance to be resilient from our tree guides, time is saying you are brave. Tell yourself every day, I am brave. Remind yourself every day that you are following your true path. And the best thing you can do is quickly forgive all wrongs and release resentment. So as people are kind of like making you question if everything all is well, because you're like, I don't know, man, Jackie was sure mean to me, right? I don't know who's Jackie. Sorry, Jackie. But you just gotta let people, forgive people immediately, because you are trying to elevate your spirit and courageously rise to challenge. But the thing is about that, you don't want to be carrying around any extra weight that is not yours. And resentment is very heavy. You don't want to be carrying away that. So time is like, yeah, let's burn away that resentment and focus on you being creative. Focus on you following your passion and what excites you. This is your life. You get to do with it what you want. So this is your life. So you get to live it. You need to start living it. Don't be letting the negativity and the media and the chaos corral you into a place that you don't enjoy. This is your life. You're allowed to do with it what you want. So step out of the broom closet and declare your magic, and don't even worry about what anyone else is doing. All right. Let's see if the wisdom of the trees would like to elaborate on assurance or resilience, or what else do the trees want to talk about. You guys can be random. I mean, it's cool. Really enjoy the trees so much. All right, so let's see what else we want to put up on the table today, this morning, 9:08. We've got a reversed hornbeam on the bottom and a reversed hazel on the top. Okay, so maybe we do want to talk about what's the problem. I feel like I want to put the hazel, like not in the hornbeam, not directly under the assurance and resilience, but like on the side of it, just about halfway up. And then maybe we'll put a Celtic tree, bam, right below. Okay, so I don't think we've ever gotten hazel and hornbeam, let alone reversed. So I'm going to go straight into, let's see, hazel is about boundaries. And hornbeam, let's see if I can find it here, is about strength. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So hornbeam is beside resilience, and it's all about strength, right? And that's what resilience wanted to remind you of. You're strong, you can handle this, you're brave, you're courageous, you can do it. Assurance has hazel, and hazel is about boundaries. So let's read that one because that's not as clear first. The inverse message of hazel says, are you becoming too self-contained? Have you built an emotional wall around yourself that keeps other people at bay? And if so, why? Perhaps you need to gradually increase your trust in people and to become less anxious and uncertain. So Hazel is encouraging you beside the assurance tree to become less anxious and less uncertain. So maybe, as you shine your light and you really are, you're going to be attracting a different breed of people now. It's like you're going to have to let go of any old belief systems that says like, well, I can't trust anybody, or all people are bad, or everyone's out to get me, because it's like you're going to be attracting better people now that your energy is better. But yet, if you haven't released that limiting belief system that says you got to keep everybody outside and like at an arm's length, or, you can't let people in, that's going to be something that you have to deal with. It's like, because like your soul wants to attract its soul tribe, its soul family. A lot of reconnections are going on right now, but your ego is like, all people suck. So you really need, Hazel's like, you need to ask yourself why, understand why you've done this, and address this emotional wall. What do you want to do? It's your life. Do you want to keep living it, being isolated, having no real connections? It's up to you. You're allowed to do whatever you want. But if you feel like you've become too self-contained, Hazel's asking you to start to understand that and gradually increase your trust in the right people. Okay, I'm just going to throw in the right people. Yeah, you don't have to like all of a sudden be like, okay, I love everybody and everybody come on over. No, you don't have to do that, because like it probably is a little premature anyways, because you're just you're gradually improving your energy, increasing your light quotient. So as you gradually rise in vibration, then gradually trust more and more of the right people. So that's what the hazel wants to talk about next to assurance. It wants you to be aware of beware of dissipating your energy by becoming caught up in ideas and situations that are nothing to do with you. So that's what I was talking about. Like, really keep on shining your light. If the news has nothing to do with you, why are you tuning into it and help creating that energetic conglomerate of fear and negativity? Why are you adding to it? Mind your own damn business and follow your own light, you know? Excuse me. Where's my time tea? See, I've been talking so much this week, I just want to be quiet. Decide where your mental and emotional boundaries lie, particularly when dealing with other people. But we did get it reversed, so it's like, hey, there's a good chance you've become a little too self-contained. Like, there's a beautiful person waiting to connect with you, and you don't even want to let her in. You don't want to even let him in. Not even for like a cup of tea, you know? like you need to maybe check yourself. So let's get a message from the Deva, from Hazel. She says, my history of being planted in hedgerows means I am an ancient guardian of boundaries, both physical and spiritual. Let me teach you how to set your own boundaries so you know where to concentrate your power and wisdom. So yeah, it's not like you have to have open borders in your life. That you should never do that. Like, I don't think that's good. You know, like, you should have your own boundaries, but boundaries are a thing of balance, and only you know which way you're leaning. So yeah, the Celts believed that hazel was responsible for fostering inspiration and wisdom. So the Celts really honored it as one of their trees of knowledge. Since medieval times, forked hazel branches have been widely used as divining rods, particularly to find water. Each May Day, hazel was one of the trees that were brought indoors to guard against evil spirits. Now, the coppice poles of hazel trees are used to make fences. The hazel is prized for its nutritious nuts, which are also called cob nuts. These can be eaten whole or pressed to make oil. So the hazel is native to Europe and Western Asia, and it's about 26 feet tall. All right, so yeah, that's a pretty good border, 26 feet. It's like, yeah, definitely good boundary with the hazel tree. But yeah, are you becoming too self-contained? But yeah, I definitely want to say, since it's beside the assurance tree, you need to become less anxious and less uncertain. So if that means fortifying your boundaries to keep negative, evil spirits out, do that. If you're at the point now where your anxiety and your anxiousness and your uncertainty is because you are too isolated, you are too self-contained, you're too independent, then, you know, let some of the right people in. Yeah, so it's really like up to you how that applies. Now, hornbeam is all about strength. So that's next to resilience. And the hornbeam straight up says, I am one of the forest's strongest trees. I can help you to withstand the pressures and strains of life so that you grow from the experience and become more secure and confident. So assurance, resilience, confidence, strength. Now it is reversed though. So Hornbeam is saying you have great strength of purpose and character, and others admire you for it. But you must show understanding to someone who is faltering and full of self-doubt. Do not be too hard on them, or you will make the situation worse. That's kind of interesting, like right after we were talking about boundaries, right? So it's like, yeah, like maybe you do need to let people lay eyes on you and have access to you a little bit. You know, it's like, it's good that if you are independent and you don't feel like you need anybody, but like maybe other people need you. So Hornbeam also has the message, if it's right way up, this is a good time for you to work on new ideas, especially ones relating to personal projects, and to cultivate your creative talents. And that's what time, our Herb of the Week, wants us to do too. Keep, stoking that creative fire. These will lead to fresh opportunities, and your renewed enthusiasm will rekindle your passion for life. So it's like, if you feel like your resilience has been waning and you're just like tired recording a podcast with your eyes closed, you need to stoke that creative fire. You need to get your projects going. You do need to definitely, I would say, inspire other people too at the same time. Help other people too at the same time. And let that be what refuels you. Absolutely. So the hornbeam is prized for its tough wood, which is excellent for coppicing and for making durable tools, such as cogs for windmills and water mills. So coppice was also that word that is also what Hazel was saying. The coppiced poles of hazel trees are used to make fences, and this too, hornbeam says it's excellent for coppicing. So I'm sure if we look that up, it has something to do with fencing. Which is interesting because we definitely have a message of borders, boundaries, fencing, what we let in, what we let out. There's definitely that overlaying theme today. So hornbeam is known as ironwood because it blunts a carpenter's tools. Hornbeam is an important tree for creating dense hedging and was once believed to provide shelter for both goblins and murderers. Great. Despite this, hornbeam hedges were planted to protect sacred groves, such as those that once existed in the Alps. In the past, the trees were used to treat wounds and were distilled to create an eye lotion. So yeah, nothing like planting hornbeam around some to protect sacred groves. If people believe that there were goblins and murderers in the hornbeam area, then they're probably not going to walk through that and mess with this sacred grove. So it was a good way to protect it, maybe. Interesting. So yeah, if you've been faltering and full of self-doubt, this is definitely what the tarot reading said this week too. Then you can boost your confidence by sharing your projects, teaching what you know. Validate your journey by sharing it with others. Truly. Like me having just a few people come over this week to walk through my yard and look at my plants and hear me talk about herbs really reassured me and validated that I do indeed work for the herbs and for Gaia. And that really is my passion. And that's what I'm going to keep on doing, So it was a great just actual thing I could do to be like, yes, I love this. I will stand out here in the blazing hot sun and, talk about yellow dock with you, talk about plantain with you, yeah, it was good. And I think I really did touch a few hearts this week, because it's hard to be with me and not talk about real stuff, especially on a one-on-one, scenario. Because yeah, like, people feel okay opening up to me because I'm totally genuine and ready to help them, even if I don't have the perfect solution on the tip of my tongue. Like, I am sending them good energy. And yeah, some of the stories that were shared with me this week touched my heart as well. So it was really good to open up my hedgerows and my energetic fencing and invite the right people in. I was the right person for them, and they were the right people for me. So I definitely encourage you to do that as well, if and when it resonates. Alrighty. So I just got a text from my new friend who said, request of the day, make a video showing how to make a relaxing iced tea with herbs. I love her. I love her. God bless a friend who comes into your life and tries to motivate you. Like, I don't know if I was feeling up to make a video. I'm making a podcast. All right. I'm making a podcast that I've had my eyes closed for most of the time, right? Like, isn't that interesting? Like, that's a great idea, but am I up for it? All right, so here we go. We're going to end with a Celtic tree. And yeah, kind of a quicker tree guides message, but it's okay. Like, what more do they have to say other than everything's assurance, all is well, resilience, you got this. And then the wisdom of the trees oracle did want to talk about some boundaries a little bit, but maybe also even about being overly isolated, like really not letting anybody in. But you do want to protect your sacred grove, right? Your sacred place within you. But surely it ain't gonna hurt to start hanging out with people. Unless, of course, they try to get you to make videos. All right, so Celtic trees. So the Celts really, really loved hazel, right? Is that the one that, yeah, that's one they said they really honored. So I know hazel's probably in here. Let's see what tree wants to come out and give us a nice attunement. Reassurance, resilience, knowing when to let the right people in, knowing when to still protect our sacred grove. What Celtic tree would like to go right there today? All right, coming right up off the bottom, it's the yew tree. Perfect. Now I am going to give her a little bit of a boundary because she's poisonous. So the hazel, assurance, resilience, and hornbeam, they're all touching, They're kind of butted up, not in a line, but a crooked line. But the yew tree, I'm going to put below them with a nice border around it. So yeah, the yew tree does maintain her inner space. That's actually how she survives. The outside of her dies, but she constantly creates, renews, regenerates, rebuilds from the inside out. So this is number 20, the yew tree. The totems is the Grim Reaper and the Vulture. The deities and guides are the crone aspect of the goddess, Pluto, Anubis, and the ancestors. Now the key words with the yew tree, with the Celtic tree oracle card, is death and rebirth, legacies, ancestors, transition, transformation, transmutation, reincarnation, endings and beginnings, and regeneration. So yeah, it kind of, before we even go further, it's like, yes, you are going to have to let some old stuff go, some self-limiting beliefs go. and drop it, release it, because they're too heavy. They are too heavy now that you are only carrying only light things with you, love, compassion, things that you can flow freely within you, things that you want to share with people, give away, because it's instantly returned. Everything is instantly returned. So it's like these negative things, you don't want to give those out anymore because they come back to you. So what you want to be given out is assurance and love and compassion and support and creativity. The you lives for a very long time, and you often find them in cemeteries of Great Britain. They maintain the silence for the souls that have crossed the veil. With them, we move toward winter and the winter solstice, as the you marks endings and rebirth. This tree also stands for silence, contemplation, and meditation. The you links us to the ideas of rebirth and reincarnation. This tree brings us to the threshold that leads into the dead of winter and the long darkness before the light. There is the promise of regeneration here, but we have to get through the winter first. So that's kind of interesting because it's like personally, I'm coming up on the summer solstice. But it's like, bam, winter. It's like we skipped spring energetically in a lot of ways. It's like the light's coming, but boy, is there any part of winter that we still need to get through within ourselves symbolically. So when you get the yew tree in a reading, expect some sort of ending. What are you done with? What have you completed? What have you had enough of? What is asking you to let it go? You may not know where you are going, but you don't need to. So the you is also coming in with some assurance, like you don't need to even know where you're going, but there's definitely things in your life you're done with. Aren't you done? Aren't you done with all the negative news? Aren't you done with people acting like jerks and turds? Aren't you just done with this? Aren't you done acting like a jerk and a turd? Aren't you done with that yet? So the you asks you to embrace change, to follow the process. Something is dissolving, so something new can be birthed. And our initial trees are to say, yeah, it's okay that you don't know. All is well. This is all part of the process. If you are dealing with the death of something or someone, grief is appropriate, of course. But also be open to messages from those who have passed through the veil. You is here to assure you death is only a threshold into another dimension of existence. Communication is possible with those who have passed over. Your loved ones are not lost to you. Look to synchronicities and dreams. So yeah, my sister and I even, were texting the other day because, with cirrhosis, I know her time is tick-tocking, and it seems like it's getting a little bit more real. And we really do have to make peace that we are eternal beings, and death is just another new beginning. And we have been conditioned to fear it, maybe because, makes us control, society just wants us to be in fear all the time, be controlled, and, and because humans have gotten so far away from connecting to this spiritual realm. Last week the trees wanted us to, go within and connect with spirit more, because that is what is going to give us assurance too, as we have our own real experiences with people who have passed over, with the veil getting thinner, with us being able to communicate and connect. We're going to be less and less fearful then of our own passing and the passing of others, because we're going to be able to see it for what it is. So there's that. Also, transformation and transmutation involve evolutional changes. We become something new. We are rebirthed at a new level of awareness and consciousness. It is time for prayer, for silence, and the contemplation of the mysteries unknown. So the yew tree wants to ask you, are you truly living your life? Can you create a bigger life? Are you willing to have Source work through you to create beauty, harmony, and peace for the world? So yeah, the you is coming in to just reaffirm what I was saying, it's your life. You get to live it. Is it the way you want it to be? Why are you letting someone else dictate the way your life should go, or what you should think, or what you should be concerned about, or what you should be mad about? Is this really you? Are you truly living your life? Are you playing small? Could you be creating a bigger life? What about letting, the resilience tree with all that golden light behind it? Are you letting the light of Source in? Are you willing to have Source, God, Creator, the universe, all that is? Are you willing to let that energy work through you to create beauty, harmony, and peace for the world? Not even just for yourself, for the world. So anyways, you will connect you to your ancestors and to the places from which they came. There is much ancient knowledge here to access. Are you open to their guidance? So are you ready to be open? Now what's really awesome is the yew tree, just like the resilience tree, has incredible yellow light behind it. Right? Whether that's the morning sun blasting in through the forest, or the energy of Source, new beginning, new energy, new fuel. You're filling up from Source now. You work for Source now. You are doing big work now. You are doing your life's work now. This is what you came for. Good questions, all of them. All right, so let's finish out here. I feel so chill today, a little too chill. But no, that's actually what's needed. We do need to quiet down so we can connect with those in spirit, with those on the other side of the veil, with our ancestors. If we don't slow down and quiet down, we're not going to hear them. So yeah, I love that the hornbeam and hazel too are reversed, because the yew is upright and it just seems like there's this really good flow of energy. So it's like the energy's moving upward through the yew, up through the assurance tree and the resilience tree, but then on the sides of this massive upward column, there's an equal amount of energy coming down on the sides, equal. So it's we're sending energy up, we're connecting, and then we're receiving energy too. It's this good flow of energy that I'm looking at here on the table. And that's what it feels like when we work for Source. We get filled up, we get energized, we're supportive, we have enough to put out, we share, we can create, because it's always flowing. That's when athletes and artists say they're in the flow. They're doing what they love. They're living their life. Are you living your life? It's time to live your life for you. All right, so let's end with the attunement message from the yew tree. I am the yew. I connect you to the aspirations of your lineages and your ancestors. I connect you to your homelands. I hold ancient spiritual teachings and knowledge. I am full of the hope of your people. I connect you to loved ones who have passed over. I am here to remind you that space and time are inventions, not the true foundation of reality. Be patient. I offer you courage and inner knowing. Do not be afraid of change or death. They are just portals into new beginnings. Breathe deeply. Listen to the inner silence in which you can hear what has gone before and that which endures for all time. You are part of an important legacy. You are a steward of Mother Earth with work to do. Protect her, as she is a paradise. And be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with love and respect. You are a holy being of great potential. Grief will deepen you. Allow us to fill you with hope and trust and belief that the light will return and you will burn even brighter than you could have imagined. You are loved. Oh, wow, that's so sweet. So you are loved. Lived your life. You are loved. Live your life. You are loved. I mean, do what you gotta do, right? Do what you gotta do to start living that life that you want to live. You let go of stuff. You maintain your boundaries, but then you let people in. You feel good about yourself. You know that you are strong and resilient and brave, and you can handle anything. You are resilient, and all is well. So keep on doing your work for the earth, for the plants, for spirit, for your lineage, for the ancestors. Earth is a paradise. We need to honor her and protect her and love her and enjoy her. Enjoy her while you are here. It is time to live your life. You are loved.